What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best. In today's video, I'm here to talk to you about Hunter x Hunter Net Impact because we got some important news and update about the release of this game. So without any delay, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The Hunter x Hunter Net Impact Twitter put out a statement that says, an announcement has been made regarding the change in the release date for Hunter x Hunter Net Impact. Please see below for details and a link to the Bushiroad website. And if we jump on over to the monitor, you can see they put out this statement right here. It's 2 in the morning right now, East Coast time, as I'm recording this video. I've been up all night streaming. Twitch.tv/LotusAsakura, y'all knows vibes. Anyway, notice of change in release date. We are pleased to announce that the release date of Hunter x Hunter Net Impact, which was scheduled for release in 2024, has been changed to sometime in 2025. We just covered Hunter x Hunter Net Impact in a recent video that I uploaded to the channel, showcasing or talking about some of the new changes that came to the game, where they updated the UI, they added active tag to the game, where like you can switch into your assist character in the middle of an attack. You know, the same way you have like active tag now in DBFZ, something just like that. And a bunch of things in this article from somebody who got to play the game at Tokyo Game Show, which I believe is still currently taking place, or just finished wrapping up, something along those lines. And there was no mention of the release date. And Hunter x Hunter Net Impact is a game that was originally slated to release this year. And well, here we are. Today is the 30th of September now, I believe. Yeah, today is September 30th. So it's about to be October and we still have no release date. Well, if the game is releasing this year, you would think that by now we'd have it. And in that previous video, I mentioned that it's probably for the best that this game is ultimately going to end up delayed, because for one, it gives them a lot more time to polish it up and everything like that. And also it won't be competing with Sparking Zero, because it honestly wouldn't stand a chance against that game. Moving on, I have some more things I want to talk about, but let's finish reading the statement. We deeply apologize to all users who were looking forward to the release of the game due to the postponement of the release date. The reason for the delay is to implement and release rollback netcode. Rollback netcode is a system that makes the communication delays that occur during online battles feel smaller. Due to the nature of fighting games, we have determined that it will be difficult for everyone to fully enjoy the game if the gameplay of some users is affected during online battles. We will announce the exact release date once it is confirmed. We will continue to strive to deliver a better game, so we appreciate your understanding. The Hunter x Hunter Net Impact production team. So I see this as a good thing. I see this as a win. Part of me is a tiny bit surprised that rollback netcode wasn't already in the plan from the get-go for this game, but I'm very glad to hear and see that they intend to implement it into the game and are postponing the release of the game so that it can launch with rollback netcode. It's not something that's going to be missing at launch. It's not something that's going to come in a future update. Rollback will be in the game from the very start. Now, obviously, in my opinion, this is something that should have been in mind from the very start of the development of this game. For whatever reason, it wasn't. It's fine. If you have to delay the game to get it in there, I would prefer that as opposed to you releasing the game with delay-based netcode and then trying to retroactively implement it. Went through that with DBFZ. I imagine doing that retroactively would be significantly more difficult, painstaking, take more time or whatever with a game like this. Then again, I say that, but games that were much smaller than DBFZ did it, so who knows. Regardless, obviously rollback netcode is the best type of netcode that we have experienced in these fighting games, and it should be the standard at this point. We're pretty much at a point in the FGC, I believe, where we really just don't support or play games that don't have it. And if a game releases without it, people either don't buy it or they beg and beg. And I really shouldn't even say beg, that's such a negative connotation. We demand it. I should really say people demand that it gets added to the game, because it should just be the standard at this point, right? But going back to something that I mentioned earlier, so this game was originally anticipated or slated to release sometime this year, and you know, months have been going by, the year is getting closer and closer to ending, and we've heard nothing about the game in terms of a release date. And so we basically got to the point where I was like, I don't think this game is going to end up releasing this year. It's probably going to end up getting delayed, which at this point is probably within its best interest, because this is already going to be a low budget title in comparison to a lot of other games. Like this is, I forget the exact numbers. I want to say that this game had like $500,000 to $800,000 as its budget, which is very small compared to a lot of other games, right? Don't quote me on that number. I can't remember exactly. I should go find the article, but it had already came out that this was going to be a low budget title, that they didn't have a ton of money to work with, so they're doing the best that they can with what they have. And so the fact that they still want to implement rollback and everything like that, kudos to them, props to me. I give them their flowers on that. And also Hunter x Hunter as an IP, while Hunter x Hunter is extremely popular, it pales in comparison to a series like Dragon Ball. And this is a game where I was like, if it's going to release, it's going to have to be sometime in these next few months if it's coming out this year. And obviously, as you guys all know, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a game that is about to release in, what, about a week now, right? I think early access is on the 7th, that is the 30th. So literally a week from now, people will be playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, of course, they're very different games. Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact is actually a 2D fighting game that's supposed to be a little bit more traditional and competitive compared to Sparking Zero, which is a lot more casual, loose, and just more for, you know, having fun and not necessarily sweating. Not to say that people won't take it a bit more serious or sweat in it, and that there won't be varying levels of skill and everything like that, but it's not going to be a game that you see on like a main stage at like a Combo Breaker or Evo. And Hunter x Hunter might not be that either, but probably more so because of its lack of player base or popularity. And because this is an anime game, that's the only real reason I compare it to a game like Sparking Zero, because it's not gonna overthrow like a Guilty Gear or a Tekken or a Mortal Kombat and be in competition with those games. But I can very easily see this getting overshadowed by Sparking Zero. And then you also have the Bleach Rebirth of Souls game coming out, which is something else to consider, because Bleach Rebirth of Souls looks like a game with a much bigger budget, looks less rushed, like there's more time and care put into it. Not to say that the people who work on the Impact don't care that they're not taking their time. But again, like with the constraints that they have, the game visually looks a little underwhelming in comparison to a game like Bleach Rebirth of Souls, which is visually stunning. And so now, while we don't have an exact release date for either of these games, Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact is now potentially in a position where it might also end up getting overshadowed by that game as well. Now, nobody outside of the development team, as far as I'm aware, and like Tite Kubo, you know, people of that ilk have played the game. People have at least played Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact, and the people who have played it that I've spoken to really enjoyed it and think it's a lot of fun. So the game could have its own level of success. I just don't think it's going to end up being near like a Dragon Ball FighterZ or even like a Guilty Gear Strive level in terms of sales and player base and everything like that. I personally expect the game to be pretty niche. I hope that it sells well enough to where it can continue to get updates and potentially a sequel, maybe get a bigger budget in the future. Maybe Bushiroad is able to do another game similar with a different series or a sequel to this game and make it even bigger and better and more grand. That would be great. I'm hoping for the success of this game, and I hope that the game is really fun and really good upon its release, and hopefully they're able to polish it up as much as they can. Games getting delayed is always a bit bittersweet, because obviously as somebody who's interested in the game, somebody who's excited for the game, you want to just be able to play it as soon as possible. But likewise, you want the best version of the product. And so for me, I'm somebody who's willing to be patient and, you know, let them cook. I feel like there are too often times we see games that come out kind of half-baked because they quite literally weren't given enough time to cook and be finished because of whether that's deadlines or complications during the development, or they rushed it, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I think Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles is a game that probably had its development kind of screwed over because of COVID and everything like that, and then kind of got pumped out when it wasn't really fully cooked. You know what I mean? That's just the first one that comes to mind. There's plenty of examples out there of games that, you know, hell, even Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat looks like a game right now that I should say it felt like a game that like wasn't quite finished all the way, and now it's finally getting to that point where it's like, this is the game that probably should have released. But yeah, I'm not here to like try to, you know, shit on any of those games or anything like that. But the point I'm trying to make is that if this is going to give them the opportunity to create the best version of the product and have their vision fulfilled in its entirety, then I support the delay of the release. I'm in no hurry to play the game. I'm looking forward to the game, but like I said, I got plenty of games to play right now, whether it's anime games, fighting games, RPGs. I'm in the middle of a lot of RPGs right now. I've been doing this subathon thing over on Twitch, which has gone incredibly well. We started playing Ghost of Tsushima, which I was actually in the middle of when this news came out. Nier Automata, Digimon Stories Cyber Sleuth. I'm gonna be playing some Trails of Daybreak. The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak. So I got plenty of games to hold me over. Hunter, go ahead, take your time. Very curious as to when exactly this game will release. Will it be early 2025? Will it be later? And then same thing goes with the Bleach game. Will those games end up being in competition with each other? Obviously, again, they're very different genres of fighting game. Like Bleach is more of an arena fighter compared to Hunter x Hunter, which is a 2D fighter. But you know, they're both based off anime IPs, and so that gives them competition with each other just for that reason. Anyway, that's enough rambling and everything. I just kind of wanted to touch on this. I somehow managed to yap for 10 minutes about this brief announcement, but I just kind of wanted to get some of my thoughts out there and holla at you guys about it. So let me know your thoughts, how you feel about this. Are you disappointed? Are you excited because it's getting rolled back? Do you care about the game getting delayed? Do you agree, disagree with anything I said? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay tuned for all the awesome content that I bring you. So with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today. And remember, with the can happen to swing the bat. Later.